Hi there, I'm Craig, and I rode a bicycle across the United States 3 times 30 years ago. And now that I'm unemployed, um, I did work in the hotel industry, before that the restaurant industry, 35 years in the service industry, and now I am gainfully not working. So, I've been sitting around at home like a good quarantine person, and I've decided to risk it all. Literally, it's so weird what's going on with the pandemic, but I'm gonna travel across the United States and back and tell the stories of things I learned about the United States along the way, stories about people, places, and things, plus other stuff. And I'll be looking for new things to learn about and experience, and new stories to tell. And so in the process of hopefully generating new stories, I will be telling you the old stories, which are all great stories of how great people are in our country from one end to the other. The first time I rode from Northern California to down the California coast of San Diego, then all the way across to Florida, and then up to Washington, D.C. And then I flew home. I was 20, I couldn't even go into a bar. And then 2 summers later, I flew to New York City and rode back through the mid part of the country, through Colorado and Kansas, and back to the west coast to Northern California, the Golden Gate Bridge. And then the next summer I flew to Bangor, Maine, and rode from Bangor to San Francisco, through the northern states, through a little bit of Wyoming, a little bit of Montana, and so on, Wisconsin. Got a lot of good stories about a lot of good places, a lot of good people. The interesting thing is, a lot of these people are still alive 30 years later, so they're out there somewhere, and they might hear their main name mentioned, which would be fun, maybe. When I rode across the United States, I called in on a radio station in San Francisco, KRQR 97.3, The Rocker. It's a CBS-owned station, or it was. And that was where Alice is now, at the top of Embarcadero 1, with KCBS up there. Stephen Seaweed, the weed man, had me call in once a week on all 3 journeys. And then on the second and third trips, I called in on the Fox in Santa Rosa. And on the third trip, I realized I could get on other radio stations, so I ended up getting on a few times WZLX in Boston, and biggest radio station in the country, I think it was where Howard Stern did his show at WNEW in New York City. Got up into that studio and talked to those guys. That was hella cool. And WRCN out on Long Island. And yeah, that was cool. Anyway, so that was that aspect of it, the calling in on the radio stations. Then I did it to raise awareness for missing and abused children. I worked on behalf of the National Center of Missing and Exploited Children, just to raise awareness, get people to watch their kids. I raised a little bit of money, but that, money is a lot harder than awareness. So I did news interviews, and both in the print and on television, and some radio, but also I was just doing those ongoing radio appearances on the 2 radio stations ultimately. And I tried doing more, but with the different time zones, I just couldn't handle it any more than that. So yeah, I probably did about, 250 media appearances 30 years ago, for the sake of all that. And so it will be fun to retrace the steps and tell you some of the stories. People were so nice to me in so many places, and there's so many unique stories, things I learned. Everywhere I went, I asked people a couple of the same kinds of questions. As a young man, I would ask people, if you could give yourself advice as a young person, again, what would it be if you could tell yourself something when you were 20? Because I was 20 back then, right? And so that was good. And then I also asked people, what's the one thing I should know about this place, right? So I have some good insights and so on. But also I've been talking to people for 30 years in the service industry, in the busiest restaurants in the country, and then more recently the most beautiful hotel in the world, probably. So yeah, I've been a pretty lucky guy, even though I've just been a hard worker for the last 30 years. I survived those trips, and now that I'm unemployed, I went 30 years without missing a day's work, never called in sick for 30 years. Then I did ultimately, but that was at the behest of my friends, so I could draft on a fantasy football draft. And anyway, so yeah, now I am jobless, getting a little bit of unemployment. That helps. And anyway, so yeah, let's walk. Gosh darn, gee whiz. How much time is up here? 6 minutes. Oh, that's not too much. All right, so we're gonna start this journey here in the most beautiful place in the world, maybe, arguably, and in the best part of the most beautiful place in the world. And then we're gonna take it to the second best part of the most beautiful place in the world, and then go to the third, which could be the first or second. In other words, we're gonna go from the Upper West Side of Maui here to Northern California, Marin County, and we're gonna check out some killer stuff there. I know that area very, very well, but that's a great place to start a cross-country journey. That's also where I grew up. And then before I really get started, I am gonna take a little journey up to Lake Tahoe and make a video up there, because that's the other most beautiful place in the world. There's so many, and there's so many in our country. That is one of the big realities we have. We are so blessed in the United States to have such a beautiful country with such diversity and such nice people everywhere. You'd be amazed. I happen to have unusually good luck. I can't really explain it. It keeps happening too. I expect it will happen tomorrow. Happened yesterday. Happens all the time. But it also happened a lot during these trips, and it became something that I began to expect because it just kept happening. And that's when I really started to notice it. But I suppose I could go back in time and see, other times. I mean, I might start when I was 11. When I was 11, I went on vacation. This is a pretty cool little story. And there's a guy out there I wouldn't mind hanging out with. Look at those mountains behind me. So yeah, I went on vacation in Mexico when I was 11, and I happened to be a Raiders fan, and there was Cedric Hardman there on vacation. Just won the Super Bowl for the Raiders, defensive end. And I met him. He had like an entourage of beautiful women. It was super cool. But then also, I'd grown up watching beautiful Linda Carter in Wonder Woman, and there was Lyle Wagner, the captain guy from that show, and he was there with his beautiful wife and 2 kids, and one of them was named Bo Wagner, and he took me off the roof of that like 3-story jump into a 15-foot deep pool. It was killer. I learned how to point my toes and jump off tall things into water thanks to this movie star's son. But I only knew him for that 1 week, and then the Wagners and the kids and Cedric Hardman all went for a hike, and they invited me with them, and we hiked like we jogged, because Cedric Hardman had a jog. He's trying to stay in shape for the NFL. And he kept telling us kids, like, oh, it's just a little further, just a little further. And it was like 2.5 miles to this remote beach south of Playa Blanca. And anyway, we finally got there, and there was strong undertow, but it was all good because I grew up a swimmer. So, but anyway, I mean, that's pretty lucky, right? I grew up watching that show, and I was a fan of the Raiders, and then they won the Super Bowl, and then I went on vacation, and I hung out with the son of someone from that show, and so I feel like that was pretty lucky, you know. Anyway, but yeah, crazy. I have crazy luck. You won't believe it when I tell you the stories that happen across the United States of America. I've been through 40 states on a bicycle. Oh, look how cute this is. Oh, we got chickens here. Look at this, little babies. Oh yeah, Mama. Okay, I'll let you go. I don't want to push you into traffic. I'll go this way. Yeah. All right. Okay, you're good, Mama. You got 2 left. We'll watch over them, huh? All right. Oh. Okay. Oh, so check this out. Can't reverse this, but this is the Aquatic Center, and behind the Aquatic Center is a free public skateboard park. It's killer. Whether you want to swim laps here at the Aquatic Center, which is the most amazing facility ever, 50-meter free swimming pool open 7 days a week, or skateboard at the skateboard park. I will not be doing that because I like walking around. I would just get hurt. I know it. Oh, if I was indestructible and young still, man, I would be loving that. So that is one of the coolest things in Lahaina, is our public park. Look at that. Skateboard park, 50-meter swimming pool, giant place to run, right? Giant basketball court, several baseball fields. Anyway, all right. Taking a walk towards Lahainatowne. So I think I'm gonna start this YouTube channel. Right now I got one sort of called All Good Things, but I'm gonna add All Good Things in All Good Time, I think will be the name of that. Because there's already All Good Things. There's a band named All Good Things. I just found out. So it's a Jerry Garcia quote, I do believe. I had the Grateful Dead sticker on my car in the late 80s. It said All Good Things in All Good Time. So that is how I'm gonna name my channel. But I like to hike. I love to swim. And as I mentioned, I rode a bicycle across the United States, so I'm going to call the channel Hike, Swim, and Bike America Great Again, because I did it before, and now we'll be doing it again, right? So that's the bike again. I don't know if I'll be biking. I might bring my shoes and rent a bike. But I'm gonna take a 45-day journey in a car across the United States and back. And it's gonna be epic. Of course, I'm gonna be avoiding people along the way, hoping not to get COVID. I'm gonna cover up heavily for the plane ride, get a car, and then stay away from people. I've been doing that pretty good so far. And so, yeah, we're gonna go coast to coast. I was thinking the Smithsonian would be a good destination, but check it out. Maybe I'll hit Georgia when they're having their election, but I think it'd be cool to be there when Joe Biden gets inaugurated. Could be really interesting, could be chaotic, could be wonderful. I figure, you know, all the people there will be pretty nice unless they're like weird infiltrators who are trying to cause trouble. Some nice churches over here, check it out. Sun is almost about to set. So yeah, I'm gonna swim in every body of water I can find that I can swim in safely. I'm gonna hike to every mountaintop and cool beach I can. And I'm gonna share with you some of the cool things I learned. In fact, I think I'm gonna do that right now. So, for instance, if you happen to be going through, there's just certain things that you're gonna learn about when you go places, right? So if you go to, the good example of something that in every area of the country, there's things that everybody knows. But outside that area, nobody knows that. Like in Seattle, right? Around 4th of July, everybody says the same joke. Everybody in Seattle knows the same joke. Summer starts day after 4th of July, and it only lasts 3 weeks, or maybe 2 weeks, whatever. But everyone in Seattle knows that joke. They all tell that joke every year at that time, and it's always fun. And it's always a little bit true, I guess, too. So yeah, for example. And if you're headed through, say, La Crosse, Wisconsin, everyone will tell you for miles around, oh, did you know that's the home of the world's largest six-pack? Yeah, interesting. I'd like to go back there and investigate that. I never really sussed out the world's largest six-pack. I saw a bunch of grain bins. I wondered if that was it. I don't really know. But that's just an example of a couple interesting regional things. I will delve heavily into ragbrai. If you don't know what that is, it's one of the coolest things going on in our country. It's definitely on my bucket list. It's not really COVID friendly, but you know, it isn't COVID friendly. I suppose there could be some spacing, but I'll be telling y'all about that. We'll leave that as like a make you wonder. Let's see, what other interesting things can I tell you about places I'm going to take you, and we will see if they are still there, like the bagel shop in Bangor, or I don't know, it just goes on and on, and there's so much more to learn, and that's the cool thing. When I'm done with it, you'll have insights into all sorts of stuff that you might not have had insights into. I also worked in Malibu at one short period of time, about a year and a half. And there are a few interesting experiences there I'd like to share with you. So we'll go through there. That was also on my first trip, though. I went through there on my first trip, so there's some overlap with places I've lived and where we're going to travel and where I traveled on my trips across the United States and people I met along the way. Steel prison over here, prison wall next to me. It's Prison Street back there. Let's see. Aloha, brother. So, let's see. It is Christmas Eve. I suppose that's noteworthy. I've been thinking about it. You know, a lot of people are dying and stuff, and it's like hard to get super positive. I was thinking I might be interpreted as insensitive if I tried to make people smile and laugh. But that's sort of what I like to do. It's what I've been doing for a long time. When you work with the public, you know, if you try and you work at it, you figure out how to make people smile. And I happen to have some skills, and so I was even thinking about spending a lot of time on the mainland just so I can go around and see if I can get on some stages, do some stand-up. You see, while where I live is like living in heaven, there are no places to do stand-up comedy here. So, you know, it is what it is. And I love to travel anyway. So yeah, maybe I'll ride a bicycle across the United States again someday. And while I'm doing it, I'll stop and do stand-up comedy. That'd be kind of fun. Combination of two things I really enjoy doing. And what else? I've been having a hard time getting getting in a good enough mood with all these things going on in the world that are sort of tragic and sad and weird. Yeah. But then I realized this is a time when people need to be uplifted. They need some good entertainment. They need people to take them out of where they are, put them in another place, like walking down the street in Hawaii, on the west side of Maui, coming up on the Catholic Church here. This is one of the places you might be more likely to stay because it's a bunch of places with kitchens. In fact, I should mention, when I come back, and so long as I live here, when you're on vacation, if you need to hire a personal chef to come into your place and cook for you, you know, that might be more COVID friendly. That might be more cost effective. Ooh, look at this family. A mama and a papa. Those roosters are so cool here. They're all just awesome. Oh, fighters. All right. I love the chickens here. I tell you what. One thing that's interesting, that's different, you know, is there's places on the mainland, acres for sale for, you know, $2, $3, $4, $5, $10,000. Here, there's acres for sale for $500, $600, $700,000. Whatever it is, I don't even know. It's so far out of range. So, everyone's very neighborly here. Very safe place. It's funny on the mainland. You know, there's this sentiment of, oh no, what would happen if white people weren't the majority? Oh, it'd be like this. It'd be super peaceful. All the Christmas stuff. The Catholic Church. Maria Lanakila. Boom, boom. All right. All right. Feels like a pretty extra neighborly feeling there. There's the Maui Gym office. I come by a little earlier. I got some glasses. If you didn't know, they got the best return policy in the world. If you have a pair with a crack right down the lens, completely broken, and for $75 they'll give me a brand new pair. So it's pretty cool. I mean, to get that done. All right. I love all the food growing everywhere. There's bananas, People should do that everywhere all the time. Just grow food everywhere. So let's see. God, I love those chickens. Look at bananas in the tree. Yeah. Bananas. Look at that, bananas. I love it. All right. I was thinking I should go get a holiday beer. Not at a bar. I do not want to die. I was thinking, what if, I mean, it might be funny, it might be fun, but it might be protective too. Put a paper bag over your head when you fly. Anyway, I might try that. My kids think I'm crazy. They have told me not to, but it is what it is. All right, I suppose we gotta head down to the ocean. You know, by golly. Whew, smells like food. So, man, I can think of so much to say when I'm not here with the camera on me. Anyway, yeah, so I'm gonna start this journey in Northern California. I'm gonna go down the California coast. I'm actually gonna drive up to my friends in Portland and Boise, and then come back around to California and ride down the California coast and then across the south. This time of year, it's pretty much my best option for certain. Don't really want to deal with snow. I'm not used to cold. Not really very good at dealing with it, probably. Or maybe I will be. Anyway, we'll find out. What else? Yeah, so I'm really curious about all the things on the mainland, including cheap land. I was thinking it might be fun to become a farmer. Make myself useful, grow food, make food. It'd be cool. I think you could get started pretty affordably. Right. Yeah, let me show you what I'm looking at. See, in this environment, I'm gonna feel like I gotta put a mask on. That's why I like those side streets. There are a few people. It is a bit of a ghost town though, look. Closed. Empty, empty. Everything's empty. Now that we got this even more infectious strain of COVID, it makes public interaction a little bit more daunting. It wasn't already. I guess we'll just go right there. See how we're doing on time. 30 minutes. It's apparently a pretty good amount of time. Anyway, thanks for listening to me. Please like and subscribe. And eventually I will figure out how to edit things. And what else? Yeah. Eventually I'll figure out how to edit and make better videos. But hey, let's take a quick look around here. Alright. We got art galleries here. This one stayed alive, look at that. It's open for business, looking beautiful. Oh, geez, I better get a mask on. I just saw a sign on a pole that said masks are required in public. Here. Look at that lady cruising her bike with her tunes. Hella cool. Hella cool. Alright. Let's get our masks on. Boom, boom. Let's see here. Show you Lahainatowne. Show you the street. That's a good view of that. Alright. Oh. Alright, so let's see. Oh, places I've never been that I want to go to. I want to check out that surf park in Waco. That seems interesting. I'll have to tell the story of Waco for all the young people who don't know it. I want to check out that I want to check out the whatchamacallit, an ancient burial site in Arizona where there was an ancient civilization. I want to check that out. Superstition Mountains, Area 51, Roswell. I want to hike all kinds of places. I want to go to the bar where Jack Kerouac drank in Colorado. Want to go to the museum in Idaho. I got a family connected story there. I have a family history in the United States that goes back to the Mayflower. So, and I know the names of everybody I come from for 400 years. So I want to try to track down any history I can, family history. You know, some of us are related. Okay, we got people out. It's pretty exciting. Look at that. We got Laura Blair. She is, I see her at the pool swimming all the time. Amazing woman. And a local legend. These nice families. And nice, happy young people getting drunk. Gotta love it. You got a surf shop. Pearly. Crazy Shirts is still in business. Everything across the street is closed though. Jewelry over here. But all that, check it out. That whole block is dead. Out of business. Bubba Gump Shrimp Company is seating, serving. Sunset doesn't really appear very well.
Have yourself
Aloha. lady selling Lays. That's nice to see. Bubblegum Shrimp Company. Alright. Oh, look at the moon and the mountains behind me. Can you see those mountains? Woo. Alright, Longies closed. I once had a drink here with Sean Penn, and he gave me and my friend DC a ride home to our crappy apartment building, the slum rise. And then he got out and took a piss on the fence. It was so cool. And he hung out with my friend DC, like they partied one night together and just talked story back at his place. And he told DC he would send him a bottle of Fernet Branca, and he did. Man of his word. Sean Penn. He held court at Hula Grill at this table for like an hour, you know, just talking story. Look at this new place, brand new. Tommy Bahama Marlin Bar. Look at that. Almost makes me want to go in and have a drink, but no thanks. You know, beautiful people. Oh look, and it's adjacent. Look at that. A store adjacent bar. Look at that. A bar and a store and a bar. Then we got Waikiki Brewing Company here. Brand new, pretty brand new. We're doing some business. We're doing all right. All right, good times. Wouldn't it be terrible if you? Wouldn't it be terrible if you were like making videos and you made a video of somebody cheating on their spouse and then they saw it? Oh my God, that would be terrible. It's like my worst fear. Hate to cause trouble. Killer, huh? Attractive woman right there. Okay. Alright, well, we'll start walking back along the wall and we'll finish this video, and I thank you for your time. Last business on the row here. This whole building, by the way, was the hospital and the morgue. So it's supposedly it's haunted supposedly, which is a fun story. And this location's had a real hard time. What's that about? 10, I don't know, 8 businesses since I've lived here, 22 years. So 23 years. It's hard to stick around there. All right. Look at this beautiful wall. Old. I like rock walls. Killer. Killer Mediller. Woo. God, makes me dizzy just looking at that. Oh. Alright, well. Sorry if I didn't have more interesting stuff to say and do. Trying to keep you entertained here. I'd say that's pretty epic right now. Oh crap. Oh crap. Check it. Alright. And there's a killer moon out tonight too. Merry Christmas everybody. And stay tuned for my awesome journey across the United States of America. Aloha.